My nephew, Leo, suffered from hemorrhoids. My sister-in-law, Alara, insisted on using chili peppers to cure him. I stopped them, telling them not to believe in such absurd home remedies. Right after Leo's surgery, Alara found out that someone else had cured their hemorrhoids using her asterisk method for free. She blamed me for giving bad advice. And so, she and Leo conspired to burn me alive. Reborn, I stepped forward, snatched the green chili from Alara's hand, replaced it with a ghost pepper, and smirked at my terrified nephew, saying, "Use this one. This kind is much more effective." In my previous life, Leo was just like this. He clutched his blood-stained pants, crying, "Auntie, do I have cancer? I'm so young, I don't want to die." His bottom was bleeding uncontrollably. I observed him for a moment, suspected it was hemorrhoids, and reassured him not to be afraid. Without hesitation, I took him to the hospital. After examination, the doctor recommended immediate surgery. Alara didn't want to pay for the surgery. She contacted relatives in her hometown, begging for a folk remedy that supposedly cured all ailments. Applying chili to the wound, pure nonsense. I desperately advised them against superstition, using scientific facts to persuade Alara so that Leo could have the surgery successfully. He recovered, became healthy, and even found a beautiful girlfriend. The surgery cost 30,000 yuan. Later, Alara found out that someone else with hemorrhoids similar to Leo's had been cured by applying chili without spending a single penny. She harbored intense resentment. "You colluded with the hospital to swindle money. My hard-earned 30,000 yuan all gone." She then conspired with Leo, and while I was working overtime at the company, they burned me alive. What was truly hateful was that my nephew, whom I saved, turned against me with such cruelty, completely ungrateful. In this life, I want to see just how special Leo's hemorrhoids will become under Alara's folk remedies. "Auntie, what do I do now? It hurts so much." In the living room, I watched Leo clutch his sleeve tightly, recalling the callous way he set fire to me. My heart turned to ice, but quickly I masked my intense hatred. His retribution was at hand. Alara was on the phone looking for folk remedies. I overheard a few local dialect phrases. Her face lit up with joy. She quickly hung up and went into the kitchen to pick a few green chilies. "Don't be scared, honey. Mom found a great way." "Your third aunt said chilies can cure it, can cure anything." Just hearing it sent shivers down my spine. Before Leo could object, Alara snapped a chili in half. Even I could smell the pungent, spicy aroma. Leo's face revealed fear. He recoiled, shrinking back. He was a university student this year, not an uneducated person. "Mom, who uses chilies to cure diseases? Why don't we let Auntie take me to the hospital?" He tried to argue with Alara, but it was utterly futile. I held onto my nephew, who was trying to escape. "Leo, stop fussing. Alara is right. I believe your mom's traditional remedy will definitely work." I praised her effusively. Alara beamed triumphantly, but then shot me a look of pure disgust. "What else? What good is it for you to graduate from a prestigious university? You still haven't found a husband. Nobody wants an old maid like you." I didn't argue, I just nodded silently. Seeing Alara approach with the green chili, the color drained from Leo's face. "Auntie, save me." In the past, I had treated Leo so well. He was the darling of the family. As soon as I got paid, I'd take him out to eat. Sports shoes costing over 2,000 yuan, I bought them for him without a second thought. Who would have thought I was raising a wide-eyed wolf, one that would eventually turn around and bite me? Leo thrashed in panic. I held him tight, silent. The pungent aroma of the green chili wafted over. Leo kicked wildly, desperate to escape, but he was exhausted. Not until he was on the verge of fainting from fear did I slowly speak. "Wait!" Alara, her face displeased, snapped. "What are you doing?" Leo looked at me as if saved, his eyes full of hope. "I knew it. Auntie can't bear to see me suffer. You're the best to me." Leo's eyes welled up with tears. He had been pampered since childhood, with fair skin and delicate, handsome features. In the past, I had been deceived by this look countless times. Now, thinking back, I only felt that my kindness had been utterly wasted on a dog. Under their differing gazes, I pulled a bag of good stuff from the refrigerator. Just to be safe, I put on gloves and opened the plastic bag. Inside were short, plump, reddish-orange chilies. Just the smell alone was searing. The famous Suan La chilies from Yunnan, one of which was 1,000, no, 10,000 times stronger than ordinary chilies. I smiled and offered them to Alara. "How about using these? They have more punch, and who knows, maybe they'll be even more effective." Alara hesitated for a moment, then, persuaded by me, nodded in agreement. That's right, Leo. You trust your mom's traditional remedy. It'll definitely work. Leo was gasping for air. If he fainted, wouldn't all my effort be wasted? I propped him up, pressed his philtrum as a first aid measure, and forcibly brought him back to consciousness. Alara held the ghost pepper, dangling it in front of him. There, just put this nicely on the wound, that's all you need to do. I chuckled and said to my trembling nephew, that's right, don't let our good intentions go to waste. Ignoring his pleading eyes, Leo was taken into the bathroom by Alara. I stood outside the door, listening to his pathetic screams, and couldn't help but smile. Those are the famous ghost peppers from Yunnan. Normally, when cooking, we only dare to cut a few thin slices. See, no more bleeding, right? I told you this family remedy works, and you guys didn't believe me. Alara looked at me with disdain. What are you dawdling there for? Go cook dinner, don't let my son starve, he's sick and needs proper nourishment. Leo was weak, barely able to stand. I glanced at the toilet, seeing the unflushed ghost pepper, then at Leo's splayed legs. I shuddered slightly. All right, I'll take care of dinner. Leo truly needed nourishment. On the dinner table tonight, there wasn't a single vegetable dish. Braised pork hock, chili chicken, and spicy Szechuan mackerel. The moment Leo saw this, I didn't miss the expression on his face, a silent cry without tears. Auntie, my bottom still hurts. Can I eat something light? I forced him to sit on the cold, hard chair. Alara is right. You need to eat more meat so you'll have the strength to fight off the virus. Besides, you're too skinny. You should eat less vegetarian food. Tonight's dinner was entirely paid for by me. Alara, being greedy, ate with her mouth full of grease and even scooped 2 large pork hocks into Leo's bowl. She was afraid I'd snatch them. Leo, eat quickly. Eat a lot so you'll get better soon. Leo dawdled, and Alara almost wanted to spoon-feed him. A university student, yet he had no masculine spirit whatsoever, his eyes glistening, muttering faintly. After the folk remedy treatment in the afternoon, Leo's face was still flushed. Alara scooped all the meat into her own bowl, not leaving a single drop of broth for me. She told Leo, tonight before you sleep, use another one, okay? Mom left the chilies in the bathroom. At 1 a.m., Leo's agonizing screams echoed everywhere. It hurt so much, it hurt so much. In the toilet bowl, besides feces, there was dark blood. Leo, his eyes bloodshot, pleaded for my help. I was disgusted, covering my nose and backing away. Now that's asterisk effective, isn't it? Just a few more trips to the bathroom and you'll be cured. Alara was incredibly excited, believing that the bowel movements were a detoxification process. My brother, Arthur, frowned. Stop believing those ridiculous folk remedies. Why don't we go to the hospital? Don't let this illness get worse. Alara stood with her hands on her hips, displeased and not at all disgusted by the waste in the toilet. Look, dear, those black bits are toxins. As soon as Leo expels all the toxins, he'll be fine. Alara absolutely refused to go to the hospital, shooed my brother out, and then shoved another chili into Leo's hand. He looked at me, hoping I would say something just like before. In the past, Alara didn't want him to participate in the school basketball game. I strenuously argued, helping him register, but my kindness was never repaid. I sighed. Leo, you're this old now, can't you stop making us worry? Be a bit more sensible. Early in the morning, I heard Alara chopping something. She had called relatives again and acquired an upgraded version of the folk remedy. Finely chop chilies, squeeze out the juice, then pour it into a mineral water bottle to mold and freeze. This way, it would be more convenient to carry than fresh chilies. When Leo saw the cylindrical frozen chili stick, thicker than his wrist, his legs gave out and he collapsed to the floor. I decided not to care about them, found an excuse, and went out. As I left, I could still hear Leo's desperate screams. With my best friend, I leisurely enjoyed afternoon tea. My phone showed dozens of missed calls, all from Leo. He texted, Auntie, please come back and save me. Mom's gone crazy, I'm in so much pain. Auntie, take me to the hospital. I leisurely returned home. As soon as I entered, I heard my brother Arthur's furious roar. It's all because of your ridiculous remedy. You almost killed Leo. Alara hung her head for a long time, muttering incoherently. I only wanted what was best for him. Others were cured this way. Why can't our Leo be cured? There must be a problem somewhere else. Alara's face was full of defiance. My brother raised his hand and slapped her. I think asterisk you're the crazy one. Alara, in a furious rage, lunged at my brother, fighting him tooth and nail. I pushed open the bedroom door. Leo was lying face down on the bed, gasping for breath, his face crimson as if with a high fever. Seeing me, he cried miserably. Mom wants to kill me. Auntie, please save me. I unhurriedly took his temperature. It was 41 degrees Celsius, his entire body hot like a boiled shrimp. Seeing that my brother and Alara were almost done fighting, I finally shouted, "Oh my goodness, Leo, what happened to you? Wake up." At the hospital, Alara hastily registered for emergency care. The doctor examined him, shaking his head repeatedly, his expression frighteningly serious. Alara, terrified, knelt in the hallway, clutching the doctor's sleeve. "You must save my precious son. Nothing can happen to him." When the doctor learned of Alara's chili-based treatment method, he was stunned. Under the gaze of dozens of patients, Leo's face turned beet red, and he dared not lift his head. What was originally a common case of hemorrhoids had now turned into a severe infection, requiring urgent surgery. Dr. Chen removed his gloves, looking at Leo's betrayed ears. I saw the disdain in his eyes as he tossed the soiled medical gloves into the trash. "Family, please sign." Waves of putrid smell emanated from the hospital room. The new nurse was overwhelmed to the point of dry heaving, and other patients ran out. Leo, full of shame, could do nothing but cry. "It's all Mom's fault for using that ridiculous folk remedy. If we'd come to the hospital sooner, I would have been fine." Alara, having lost the argument, immediately called her relatives, cursing them loudly. The other end didn't know what to say to her. Alara was half believing, half doubting. "Really? Soaking in chilly water for a month will cure it?" The doctor shook his head in exasperation, about to leave, unwilling to deal with it anymore. Even his mask couldn't block the stench. My brother smashed Alara's phone. "Surgery now." Before the surgery, the doctor specifically warned them not to eat or drink anything, as it would affect the operation. Alara thumped her chest, assuring him. My brother was busy with work and had already left that day. As soon as the doctor left the room, Alara urged me to buy a bag of milk and some chocolate. I asked her in surprise, "Didn't the doctor say not to eat anything?" Alara sharply tapped my head. "Have you studied so much that you've become stupid? So rigid-minded?" "Milk is for drinking. Chocolate is just a snack, not a meal." A nearby patient tried to advise her, but she loudly scolded them. "All right then, if that's what you want, I respect your opinion, but I'm not going." Alara cursed at me, then grabbed her bag and went to buy it herself. On the day of the surgery, everything was ready. When the doctor asked if anything had been eaten, I glanced at Alara. Her face twitched unnaturally, then she sternly said, "No, nothing at all." In the middle of the surgery, the doctor suddenly pushed the door open and questioned Alara again. "Are you absolutely sure the patient hasn't consumed anything?" Alara was a little panicked, but she still insisted. "No, we did exactly as you said, didn't eat anything at all." "It's just a hemorrhoid surgery. Does it really need to take this long? Are you incompetent and trying to swindle money?" When Leo was wheeled out, his breath was faint, and food from his stomach had regurgitated, nearly choking him to death. My brother reacted by grabbing Alara's hair. "Goddammit, do you not understand human language? I told you not to eat anything before the surgery. You almost killed Leo." Alara cried a river of tears, innocently saying, "I was worried Leo was thirsty, so I bought him a bag of milk. Chocolate is just a snack. How was I supposed to know it would harm him? I thought Leo's surgery would go smoothly in a few days." Unexpectedly, as soon as I got home from work, I saw Alara in the living room. She had, without the doctor's consent, arbitrarily taken Leo home. "They're all quacks, just a common hemorrhoid, yet they want to anesthetize him, operate on him, and still not cure my son, deliberately making us stay in the hospital for 200 yuan a day." I didn't refute her words. Alara was right. Her lips curled into a smirk, she snorted, then went to sharpen a pair of scissors. "It's just a small piece of flesh. I can just cut it off." Leo had become noticeably thinner lately. Under his fair skin, there wasn't much flesh left, and his lips were pale. "Auntie, please talk to Mom. She's going to kill me." Seeing his pathetic state now, I couldn't help but feel a flicker of pity. But then I suddenly remembered. In my previous life, it was he who tied my hands and feet, doused me in gasoline, and set me on fire. I writhed in agony on the ground, frantically calling his name. "Auntie, if you're going to blame anyone, blame yourself for being unlucky. Oh, and by the way, I've withdrawn all the money from your card. He even took my phone." Alara went online, searching on Zio for instructions which stated disinfection was required first. She grabbed a half-empty bottle of old vinegar from the kitchen and poured it onto Leo's bottom. "Mom, I'm not doing this anymore." Alara snapped at him confidently. "What's there to be afraid of? It's just hemorrhoids, isn't it? It's not a serious illness. We're not going to waste money at the hospital. Just close your eyes, sleep it off, and it'll be fine. Alara pinched Leo's flesh with her fingernails. I dared not look. She raised the scissors and plunged them down. Ah! Leo thrashed on the bed like a fish being butchered. After a moment, there was complete stillness. I checked his nose. He was still breathing, just unconscious. Alara looked with satisfaction at the piece of flesh she had cut off. She tossed it to me. Throw this downstairs for the dogs to eat. This damn thing made my precious son suffer. I was about to remind her that the wound hadn't been stitched yet when I saw Alara haphazardly stuffing gauze into it to stop the bleeding. Leo woke up the next day. Alara simmered a fragrant pot of beef for him, even adding more ghost peppers. Leo's mouth swelled red from the spice. Alara poured him a bowl of hot soup. You have to eat beef so the illness won't return. Just listen to Mom. Leo swallowed, unceremoniously eating half the pot, his belly distended like a balloon. But that evening, going to the bathroom was an indescribable agony. Mom, it hurts so much. The wound, carelessly bandaged by Alara, tore open again when he strained, bleeding profusely. My brother, seeing this, was almost scared to death. Quick, take him to the hospital. What are you standing there gawking for? It was the same hospital as before. The young male doctor, even with a mask on, still looked handsome. Leo was embarrassed, hiding his face. Alara, like a mother cow protecting her calf, charged forward. Doctor, please help me. What's wrong with my Leo? The bleeding won't stop. Dr. Chen frowned, putting on another layer of mask, but even that couldn't stop the pungent stench. Leo's wound was severely infected, smelling like rotten shrimp. My brother, disgusted, also went outside to get some air. Auntie, I'm not going to die, am I? I don't even have a girlfriend yet, I don't want to die. Leo cried these words while the doctor, wearing gloves, was examining him. I saw a strange emotion in the doctor's eyes, and a suspicion formed in my mind. I then happily said, Alara, I guess you'll never hold a chubby grandchild in this lifetime. Leo was admitted for treatment, and money flowed away like water every day. Alara complained to me more than once. This hospital is a den of thieves. The doctors are no good either. It's just a simple case of hemorrhoids, yet they're prescribing so many things to swindle us. Through the glass, I saw Leo in the hospital room open his eyes, whispering something to the doctor, a blush creeping onto his face. Alara remained oblivious, still grumbling about my salary for the month. Why hasn't it been paid yet? Leo likes a down jacket that costs several thousand yuan. You should buy it for him, Alara declared emphatically. She was always eyeing my salary. I wouldn't give them another cent. Casually, I said, it should be coming soon. More than half a month passed. Leo's illness had long since healed. He refused to be discharged, his eyes secretly darting towards the male doctor. Alara, not understanding, slapped him. Do you think staying in the hospital every day is free? It's over 200 yuan a day. Leo still refused to leave, and Alara was about to hit him again. His wrist was grabbed. It was the male doctor who had performed Leo's surgery. He defended Leo. Alara's eyes darted to Leo's flushed face. She suddenly understood something. Her usual loud and aggressive demeanor crumbled like a defeated hen. As soon as we got home, she hugged me and cried. Tell me why this damned boy likes men. In my previous life, Leo had found a beautiful girlfriend and lived a very happy life. In this life, I don't know why things had changed. Leo was running to the hospital every other day, and Alara's face was full of worry. She lashed out at me. Tell me, what should we do now? Our family can't not have grandchildren. Alara again thought of her folk remedies. I told her Leo's condition required traditional Chinese medicine treatment. Alara didn't believe it. Early in the morning, she went to the market and bought a bag of toads and centipedes, saying she would chop them up, dry them, and stew them into a soup for him to drink. Then Leo would return to normal and like girls. I looked at Leo's bedside cabinet, seeing a few shriveled bitter gourds hidden there, and a faint smirk played on my lips. Alara, you're right. Alara forced Leo to drink a bowl every day when he went out. He couldn't argue. Holding his nose, he drank it all. Downstairs, I saw Leo vomiting violently into the trash can. Day by day, Leo's stomach was ruined. He started losing hair, his fair skin turned sallow, his face broke out in acne, and his whole body rapidly wasted away. Alara smugly told me, see? Not bad results. Leo hasn't gone to the hospital to see that male doctor in days. As far as I knew, it wasn't that Leo wasn't seeking out the doctor, but that he had been dumped. The male doctor now found him thin and ugly, and he had a shrewish mother at home. I went to the hospital to pick up medicine and saw the male doctor looking very exasperated from the harassment. He introduced Leo to a new partner, an 80-year-old man with a pension. He was truly considerate, but unfortunately, Leo didn't accept. Leo had killed someone. The news reached home just as Alara was smugly ordering me to hand over my salary. What? Our Leo is such a good boy, how could he kill someone? We quickly went to the school, only to see a bewildered Leo with a blood-stained knife in his hand. The victim was his dorm roommate. According to the gossip of those around, we learned that after Alara used scissors to cut off his hemorrhoids, Leo seemed fine on the outside, but in reality, he couldn't control his bowel movements. One day after class, he accidentally soiled his roommate's bed. The roommate cursed Leo, saying, "You've got a leaky butt and fart loudly." Leo, unable to bear the insult, grabbed a knife and stabbed him. Alara's heart-wrenching cries were even louder than those of the victim's family. "Leo, did they hurt you? Don't be afraid, Mom's here. You people are ganging up on my son." In Alara's eyes, there was only her precious son. She completely ignored the young man Leo had stabbed, who was still lying unconscious. The homeroom teacher tried to reason with Alara. "Leo's mother, your son has injured someone. The ambulance has taken him away." Alara didn't care. She was solely focused on comforting Leo, telling him not to be scared. Poor my brother. He worried himself sick, his hair disheveled, running around everywhere to prevent Leo from being arrested. He almost spent all his life savings. The other party agreed to sign a waiver. Once signed, Leo wouldn't have to go to jail. Alara, however, refused to let it go, pointing at the victim's family and yelling, "My son said you people bullied him first. A bunch of old scoundrels." My brother quickly pulled Alara back, slapped her, and her teeth fell out. "You idiot! Are you only satisfied after you've completely ruined Leo?" Alara dared not utter a sound. I whispered into Leo's dazed ear, "At first, Auntie wanted to take you to the hospital, but your mom absolutely refused. If she hadn't obstructed it, you wouldn't have these after effects, and you wouldn't be mocked by your classmates." After I finished speaking, I saw the hatred burning in Leo's bloodshot eyes. I took on an out-of-province work project for the company and didn't return home. Soon, I was promoted, got a raise, and bought a house out of province. A year passed. Unexpectedly, I received a call from Alara. She was crying, begging me. "Me, your brother is sick. The doctor said you should come back for a visit during the new year." In my previous life, Alara and Leo had conspired to burn me alive. I had turned into a soul, floating in the air. I saw my brother, Arthur, clutching my ashes, drinking until his eyes were bloodshot. He truly considered me his sister. If he was truly sick, both emotionally and logically, I would help. I booked the earliest flight that night, rushing home without rest. As I entered, several pairs of eyes simultaneously fixed on me. On the sofa sat 4 or 5 people, all strangers. See. "That's my me, she looks so pretty now." Alara smiled at me for the first time, pushed me down onto a seat, and even gave me cherries to eat. Such expensive fruit she had never allowed me to touch them before. The people opposite me looked me up and down. I sat uneasily, glancing towards the bedroom. "Where's my brother? Is he all right?" Alara ignored my worry, busy introducing. "Me is 29 this year. Don't just stand there, hurry and greet your aunt and uncle," Alara urged me. Seeing I said nothing, she added, "Don't mind her, she's just a quiet type." Opposite was a bald man, looking at least over 35, staring at me lasciviously. He squeezed next to me, grinning without a word. I saw drool dripping from his mouth. Alara continued to speak highly of me, discussing the bride price, demanding a car and a house. The people opposite looked tense. "Oh, look how much he likes you. Me, you haven't had a boyfriend for all these years. I've been losing sleep worrying about you." Watching her lie without blinking, the man next to me reached out, but I dodged him. Alara coaxed, "This girl is a bit shy. She's never had a boyfriend before. Just take your time getting to know her." The groom's family seemed very satisfied with me. As they discussed wedding matters with Alara, I overheard their conversation and learned the truth. It turned out this man had been in prison for several years, where he had been beaten into a stupor. Now he no longer caused trouble, which was exactly what Alara meant by truly simple and honest. I stood up to leave, but was pulled back by her in front of everyone. Alara didn't dare scold me, but whispered, "Save face for them a little. Alara, if you say he's so good, why don't you let Leo marry him instead? Leo was expelled from school, stays at home, and has a gloomy disposition." He slowly emerged from the bedroom. I barely recognized him anymore. He was much thinner than before, his dark eyes staring intensely. The bald man, hearing this, ran over and embraced Leo tightly. "Hee hee, I want a wife. This wife is good, I like her." He wouldn't let go, even as his family tried to pull him away. Alara's eyes blazed with fury. She pointed at my nose and cursed, You wretched woman, are you deliberately trying to harm my son? If he marries that idiot, how will he live his life? She had just praised him to the heavens, but when it came to her own son, she knew an idiot couldn't be married off. I gave a cold laugh. Alara, I must remind you, the culprit who made Leo like this isn't me, it's you. Under cover of darkness, I escaped that house, blocked Alara's contact number, and she didn't know my current address. Through hard work, I was promoted to department head, earning a high salary. I heard from friends that Leo actually married that idiot. However, less than half a year after the marriage, he had squandered all the man's money on debauchery bars, nightclubs, and contracted HIV. The idiot's family couldn't tolerate it. They came to their house, and Alara had to use up all her meager savings for compensation. She found a job washing dishes, busy to the point of exhaustion every day. Her 10 fingers, once unacquainted with manual labor, were now worn out, making her look like an old auntie. I heard my brother intended to divorce her. In any case, it had nothing to do with me. It was just during the year-end dividend distribution. At the company's year-end party, I saw a gaunt woman. She lifted her hat, and it was Alara. Her hair was dry and falling out in large clumps, her eyes had lost their light, her skin was loose, making her look utterly emaciated and withered. I had such a hard time finding you. There are so many debt collectors at home, please help us. Leo and his bad friends went out to play all day. When they ran out of money, they used Alara's ID to borrow money. By the time she found out, the interest had compounded so much that she couldn't pay it back. Of course, I wouldn't spend another cent on them. Alara saw I wasn't going to help, so she shrieked and lunged at me. Leo is your nephew, too. Can you really bear to see him beaten by debt collectors? What's there for me not to bear? It's not like they're hitting me. As my sneering words left my mouth, Alara was stunned, then became even more frantic, trying to snatch my bag. Out of the corner of my eye, I caught sight of a can of gasoline in her hand. My expression froze, and I pushed her away. She was too light and fell to the ground. When security arrived, Alara was crying and laughing on the ground, fiercely saying, In my previous life, I should have fed your ashes to the dogs. She's also a reborn person. Under my astonished gaze, Alara furiously lunged forward but was pulled back by another person thin, tall, with dyed blonde hair. I didn't recognize him. Auntie, I'm sorry, it's me, Leo. Leo held Alara tightly, snatching the can of gasoline from her hand. Mom, it's all your fault. If you hadn't used that folk remedy to cure my hemorrhoids, how could I have gotten this infection? And these lasting effects? Do you know how they laugh at me behind my back? Leo blamed himself, condemning Alara with hatred. Wasn't Mom doing it for me, for this family? I'm your biological son, how could you harm me? Alara would never admit she was wrong. She pried Leo's hands off, staring at me with bitter hatred. It's all your fault, you wretched woman. You're the one who deserves to go to hell. The flames erupted fiercely. In the thick smoke, I saw Leo had doused himself and Alara with gasoline. We deserve to atone for our sins. Alara thrashed, I'm not wrong, she is wrong. When the fire truck arrived, only ashes remained on the ground. My brother, Arthur, his eyes bloodshot, knelt down, gathering the ashes bit by bit into an urn to take home. His back, stooped and faltering, seemed to have aged many years in an instant. But what did any of that have to do with me?